restrictions will come into force today, with gatherings of more than 6 people now being banned. Under the former rules, groups of up to 30 people could meet. The new rules were announced last week after coronavirus cases in the UK continued to rise by more than 3,000 per day, and the R rate increased to between 1 and 1.2, meaning for the first time since March, virus cases are now rising. The so-called Rule of Six applies indoors and outdoors in Scotland and England, but only indoors in Wales. Ministers have urged the public to call the police if they suspect neighbours of having more than 6 people in a gathering. If police find you congregating with more than 6 people, you could face fines of £100, rising up to £3,200 if you repeatedly break the restrictions. However, there are some exemptions. Weddings, funerals, and organised team sports are allowed more than 6 people if they are COVID secure. Also, schools, workplaces, places of worship, and meetings for educational purposes are exempt. If your family lives in the same household and is larger than 6 people, this is also not affected by the new rules. The government expects the restrictions to remain in place for the foreseeable future, with ministers expressing hope that by Christmas they can be scrapped. However, as coronavirus cases continue to rapidly rise, the public can expect stricter coronavirus laws.
People see the horsemen as noble Robin Hoods. But I believe their first act was just the setup for an even bigger reveal.
It's great to be back.
It's so nice to see you all again.
If you think you've seen it all, take another look.
So happy to be working with you.
Be still and know that I am God.
beautiful up here.
A more perfect stage could not be asked for.
I don't see any instruments.
Your powers of observation continue to serve you well. But wait! It is to Madame Justice that I dedicate this concerto in honor of the holiday she seems to have taken from these parts, and in recognition of the impostor that stands in her stead. Tell me, do you know what day it is, Evie?
November the 4th.
Not anymore. Remember the 5th of November, the gunpowder, treason, and plot. I know of no reason why the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot. First, the overture. Yes, the strings. Listen carefully, can you hear it? Now the brass.
I can hear it. Look outside, Mummy. They're playing music.
President Trump seems to have a touch of Lincoln envy.
The late, great Abraham Lincoln.
Most people don't even know he was a Republican, right? Does anyone know?
Yeah, but we didn't know this. President Trump tweeted, "Wow, highest poll numbers in the history of the Republican Party. That includes Honest Abe Lincoln and Ronald Reagan. There must be something wrong. Please recheck that poll." Oh, there's something wrong, all right. False on the PolitiFact Truthometer. Even Jimmy Kimmel sent someone out to do some research.
Lincoln or Trump?
Lincoln.
Lincoln or Trump?
Lincoln.
Lincoln or Trump? Better president?
Oh, Lincoln.
Who's a better president, Lincoln or Trump?
Trump.
Trump. Perfect. Said the woman in front of a Hooters.
There is one itty-bitty problem with President Trump comparing his poll numbers to President Lincoln's. Abe Lincoln was dead before polls started, read one exasperated tweet. Lincoln died 71 years before modern scientific polling started in 1936. In Lincoln's time, there would have been only tiny local straw polls. President Trump does have an 87% approval rating among Republicans, but other presidents have topped that. What would Lincoln say? Conan once juxtaposed animatronic Abe with the real Donald.
I mentioned food stamps, and that guy who's seriously overweight went crazy. He went crazy.
Trump actually used Lincoln to score points against Clinton.
Okay, Honest Abe. Honest Abe never lied. That's the good thing. That's the big difference between Abraham Lincoln and you. That's a big, big difference. We're talking about some difference.
Call me crazy, but I don't think Honest Donald is the nickname history will bestow on President Trump. When it comes to stature, even when you're saluting him, Abe seems to turn everyone into the size of one of his shins. Jeannie Mo, CNN.
Build that wall. Build that wall.
New York.
Build that wall. was down there, and I watched our police and our firemen down on 7-Eleven, down at the World Trade Center right after it came down, and I saw the...
Those of us who have made something of our lives will always look at those who haven't as nothing but clowns.
Thomas Wayne, thank you for coming in this morning.
It's not funny.
I heard this song on the radio the other day, and the guy was singing that his name was Carnival.
Arthur.
Which is crazy, because that's my clown name at work. Until a little while ago, it was like nobody ever saw me.
During Napoleon's reign, he was frequently under attack by the Bourbons. And the Bourbons had challenged Napoleon's right to even rule. And one of the bones of contention between Napoleon and the Bourbons was the fact that the Bourbons would appeal to their ancient past. The emblems that they would use on all of their tapestries and on their crests was the fleur-de-lis. It was a symbol of antiquity. And not to be outdone, Napoleon decided that he was going to find his own. And he lighted on the discovery of the recent tomb of Childeric I, just a century or so before. And Childeric was the son of Merovich. Merovich is this character in Frankish lore that is equal parts real human and equal parts myth. Merovich had been a great warrior. He had established the Merovingian dynasty, out of which also flowed the Frankish dynasty. And one of the things that was discovered in Childeric's tomb were a number of golden bees. Actually, they were cicadas. And these golden bees had a long history in mythology. They were used amongst the Egyptians to symbolize immortality or resurrection. Bees were believed to have come about as a result of the tears of one of the gods. And honey was believed to be the food of the gods, the nectar of the gods.